U.S. climate envoy John Kerry arrived in Shanghai Wednesday to meet with his Chinese counterpart. They are expected to exchange views on climate change and discuss ways to tackle global warming. China currently emits more carbon than any other country in the world. Number 2 is the U.S. President Biden is scheduled to hold a virtual summit on climate change with world leaders next week. For more on this, I want to bring in CBSN contributor Isaac Stonefish. Isaac is also the founder of Strategy Risks. Hey there, Isaac. So what does the Biden administration hope to accomplish through John Kerry's trip to China this week?
Kerry talked about it as not starting to talk about climate, but talking about climate. He's really tried to set expectations low, which is a place that I think is a good one for him to be in right now. I think they would like to be able to come back to the United States and show people on the left for whom climate change is perhaps a signature issue, that they're working to push Beijing in the right direction.
And where does China stand on climate change? What is the country doing to try and cut back greenhouse gas emissions?
So there's what Beijing is saying that it's actually doing and what it's doing. Beijing likes to portray itself as the patron saint of being very woke on climate change and moving in the right direction with this great unity of countries. But I think about 65% of the country's energy comes from coal, which is far higher than the percentage of the United States or really in any other major country. And that's actually increased in 2020. And the call to be carbon neutral by 2060 is so far in the future as to be laughable. So I think there's a lot of deserved skepticism for what Beijing actually wants to do and its decisions recently to focus on economic growth as opposed to the environment. It's certainly possible that could change, but I'm not holding my breath for it.
Yeah. And Isaac, we've had plenty of conversations about tensions between the U.S. and China. They were obviously high at the end of the Trump administration, and that relationship has remained strained during President Biden's first months in office. How do these tensions impact climate discussions?
Kerry and his counterpart in Beijing are both trying to position themselves as being able to say, well, we're just going to talk about climate here. This is very focused on this very specific issue, but both sides are very aware that relations are at the lowest level they've been in decades, and there's no way to talk about an issue such as climate without it being intensely political. So Kerry really wants a win on this. We've heard very little from him. He's a former Secretary of State. He's a very big personality. He's not really been able to have the spotlight that he's desired. This is a way for him to do so if he can start delivering wins on this. So I think he's going to certainly be trying, but also on the question of his success on this, I'm still not holding my breath.
All right, one last question for you. Kerry's also scheduled to travel to Seoul, South Korea next. What do you expect out of that trip?
I think that's a much easier trip and perhaps even a victory lap at a country that has much more similar climate policies to the United States. Kerry knows South Korean diplomats quite well from his time as Secretary of State. And I think we're probably going to see very little actual concrete news out of that, but some nice photographs, some nice announcements, and something that will make the United States and Kerry and the South Korean allies feel pretty good about the relationship.
All right, Isaac Stonefish, thank you.
Thank you.